We have more comics spiking because of Netflix, video games, and movies. Flying at you right now.
Happy Monday, comic fam. Maybe the beginning of December, but hot comics keep rolling in from November, and we got to talk about them.
Heck yeah, this list is killing it.
Yep, absolutely. We love doing these honorable mentions. There's some great books on here, and they touch all different areas.
Thank you, comicbookinvest.com, for providing us with the hot list every Friday that we cover. They also provide 2 honorable mentions every single week, and this is the video where we review them. So hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into it.
All right, the first one on the list, this is an interesting one. This is Afterlife with Archie, number 6, the Andrew Peepoy variant. Now, raw, they're going for $10, but the main reason this book is going for so much is that it is a Chilling Adventures of Sabrina cover. And as you know, the Satanic Temple just got done suing Netflix over their depiction of the Satanic Temple statue of Baphomet. And the Satanic Temple won. So Netflix just paid the Satanic Temple $50 million because they used their statue. Now, someone's getting a lot of money here.
Ooh.
That's
that's
kind of
right.
crazy.
Understatement.
What's going on. Absolutely. But hopefully Netflix learned their lesson. Don't mess with the Satanic Temple. And this book is spiking. A lot of these books are moving, and a lot of these Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, a lot of these Sabrina variants are going to be moving. So go out there and find them.
This book is worth picking up just for the 1-page spread of Sabrina underwater, fighting off some tentacles, causing some bondage. It's crazy. It's a great book. And the next one on the list is a Golden Age comic. And you know we got the guru here for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of underwater, this is an underwater cover as well.
Okay.
Nightmare Comics 13. Matt Baker cover. You know I love Baker. Everybody should love Baker. His, again, rendition of women is beautiful. And these are green underwater seaweed women, basically.
Doesn't get better than this, man.
No, and yet somehow they're still gorgeous.
The color work.
Yeah, lots of greens contrasting against the skin tone of the heroine as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a really cool cover, really cool book. I don't see this very often. I see other Nightmares, yes. But this one I don't see almost at all. So it's a really cool book to see on this list. And just checking sales, a June, a 4.0 sold for $650.
Oof.
I mean, that's not the highest of grades
No.
at all. So a 4.0 for $600, that's a pretty strong sale.
Mm-hmm.
A miscut 8.0 sold for $2,600.
Wow.
Miscut.
Miscut.
Oof.
So even with poor eye appeal to the book, it still sold for $2,600.
Mm-hmm.
So aren't many sales in the last 5 years at all, but some strong sales of late.
Yeah.
And a cool cover.
Awesome. All right, this next book we have on the list is a video game book. A buddy of mine reached out after watching one of our top 10 videos when he saw Bloodborne make the list, and he's like, hey, man, shout out Mark. He's like, you got to find me some Bloodborne comics and some Witcher comics.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. The Witcher comics have been in high demand. I have a lot of people to shop actually looking for Witcher comics right now.
Isn't Henry Cavill going to be doing something with Witcher?
That seems to be the biggest reason why we're seeing such a movement here. Now, Witcher 3 came out. The video game is a very good game. People are enjoying playing the game, but there is a renewed interest in getting other types of medium because the Superman fans, the Henry Cavill fans, are wanting a comic book based on his character.
Very good. And Witcher number 1 seeing sales between $25 and $30.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and look out. We got another oldie coming on the list. Gunfighter number 13. Take it over, Guru.
All right, so Gunfighter 13, it's a Western-themed book, but is an EC published title. So number 13 is another Johnny Craig cover, and a cool cover. Girl in a stagecoach, bound with her hands behind her, this runaway wagon, some heroine with a whip. A really cool cover. And there are a few in this title that have really great girl cover-inspired artwork on them. And 13 is one of them. 14 is another. And actually, I made some notes here. It looks like 8 and 11 as well.
Oh, nice.
So those are all standout covers for this title. And I would definitely check them all out. But 13 is on this list. And the value grade is around $350, yet an 8.5 sold for $1,600.
Whoa.
So that's a pretty good strong sale, again, for a Western title, yet girl-covered or inspired image.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one of the big reasons why these covers go for so much is when there's a lot of scenes happening, and typically it's kind of like the damsel in distress theme.
Yeah.
very cool.
Apparently,
I think it
women
worked.
in the 1950s like to get tied up a lot. So that was
Apparently. Oh, but don't think you're done there, Jeff, because the next book that we got to talk about is one of my personal favorites as it pertains to color work.
Oh yeah.
You can't help but just stare at this cover. It just like you ever guys see Parks and Rec?
Yes.
There's an episode where Tom Haverford, he pays for some artwork and it's all these different shapes. And he's just like, he really falls in love with this painting. Shout out to anyone. Put your answers in the comment section below if you know what I'm talking about here. But it's just like a bunch of shapes on this painting. And he's just like, look at this shape and look at the color of this one and this one. I love this painting, man. It's making me feel things. And it's like, that's how I feel about this cover. It speaks to me. What are we talking about?
So if this cover speaks to you, and we're discussing specifically Contact Comics 12, which is a classic sci-fi issue.
LB
cover,
Cole, baby.
But it's done by LB Cole. So if you like LB Cole, and you know when you're looking at an LB Cole cover, LB Cole style is as distinct as any. And what's interesting about this tile, Contact Comics, it's only 12 issues, and every single one of them is a World War II type style of just planes. Yet he's such a huge sci-fi fan, he incorporated on the very last issue a sci-fi theme. So that's just interesting that he took his influence and stuck it onto a war title book with a rocket ship and the space-like feel. And if you love LB Cole, which many do, I would also check out Blue Bolt. And that's another amazing run of his. And basically, especially actually from issues 104 to 116. Take a look at those too.
Ooh, and if the audience is liking this gold talk, you know what they should be watching.
They should be watching our weekly Golden Age show.
But before they go and click away on that link, there has been a recent 9.0 sale for $12,000 on this book.
Wow. I was watching that auction, and I'm not surprised because A, it's a mile high, which is a pedigree, which we will discuss some other time, but it's also just an extreme difficult book being a black cover of a very collected artist. So a 9.0 is extremely rare.
A 6.0 going for $2,000. I mean, it's holding value. And back in 2006, this book would have been seen for going right around $3,000.
So I have a copy of this book. I actually had 2 copies of this book. Do you want to know what happened to my first copy that I had of it? I was drinking with a friend, got drunk, and drunk sold it to him.
No.
Regret it.
Does he still have it?
Oh, he still has it. And his personal.
Great. And you get to be reminded of it, I'm sure, every time you go to visit.
Ugh.
All right. This next one. I got to change the subject because I can see it. I can see it affecting you here. Russ feels for you.
He was staying at my house. He was staying at my house visiting.
Yeah.
So I got gave him a free room and board, and he bought one of my books. I didn't even plan on selling until I got too many drinks in me.
Got to get it back, Jeff. We got another one, he said.
I do have another one. Yes.
Okay. So this next one on the list, I got to give a shout out to Comic Pops. I know he's going to appreciate this one. Voltron, A Legend Forged, #1.
Voltron has been seeing a renewed popularity with the Netflix series. I think they just had season 4 come up.
It's up there.
It's so good. It's actually really a great watch. But you have Voltron with more people watching it. You have the kids in the 80s watching it and kids who have kids watching it. But Jenny Frison, who does astounding cover work. If you've seen her Wonder Woman covers, they are just beautiful. It's probably the main reason that my Wonder Woman series comics are still selling so well. Because for a while there, not as many people were reading the Wonder Woman new comics, but they were buying it just specifically for Jenny's variant covers. And this is one that she did a couple years ago.
Was going for right around $50 for some time, but recent prices are showing $100 sales. Keep an eye out for the Voltron comics because this is similar to Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars fans. They're diehard when they're collecting these comics.
Absolutely. Voltron, A Legend Forged #1, the Jenny Frison variant, is very tough to find.
All right. This next book, it's another Golden Age classic. I mean, this person, Mike Roy, intern to Bill Everett. All right. This guy is a legend. And what do we have coming on the list, Jeff?
So what we have coming in is Tormented #1. This is an extremely tough book. I don't see it very often. And to see it in grade, and in grade for a book like this is going to be like 5.0 or higher. So it's just a tough book. It's a great cover. 2 skeletons pulling at a gal in a graveyard in a red dress. No surprise, red dress. Green or red, mostly red.
Yeah.
So it's just a great image. Tough book. And #1. And this book has had some pretty strong sales of late, and I really think today's market, it would probably be even more. but a raw copy, VG, sold this week for over $600. I think a graded VG probably would have sold to $900.
Whoa. Okay.
I mean, I know a lot of people looking for this book, you know, and I'm one of them.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
just
great
like
book.
double within the last few years.
And if you have one, comment down below because Jeff will buy it from you.
Absolutely.
Well, pre-court horror in general has been nuts. I mean, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
stagnant for about a year and a half, and it has exploded, and rightfully so. And it will continue to explode next year as well.
All right. Next comic on the list, wrapping up the honorable mentions for November, we have Hack/Resurrection number 8. All right. This is the Florida Supercon variant. Very cool book. This is a series we need to be keeping an eye out for because it is optioned for a series and may have some long-term standing power here. Now, this is a very cool book. A lot of people are saying this is one of the best horror comics written in the last like 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
And this particular book, we have a volume, number 5. We're going to be sending out to the comic book community. We want to know your thoughts about this list, about the honorable mentions for November. Put your answers in the comment section below. This book is about a goth lead who is awesome female character who is actually a victim of kind of like a horror incident and is a vigilante and is hunting monsters down that are killing teenagers. Very cool book.
Interesting. Well, definitely, because we had an honorable mentions list in November, so a lot of it is going to be that residual hangover from Halloween. But as Jeff just mentioned, pre-code horror is year-round, and a lot of this other stuff is going year-round as well.
Absolutely. And this variant's going for $80.
Shout out to comicbookinvest.com. Thanks so much for getting to this honorable mentions list for November.
And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can possibly get this hack/trade.
Thank you so much for your time, Comic Fam. And as always,
Geek.
Responsibly.
enough said. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you are not part of the mystery mail call yet, you have until the 15th to sign up. This right here are all of the December mystery mail call boxes so far, all reserved. And yeah, I'm excited to send these out. But if you haven't joined the community yet, hit the link in the bio and join. Yeah, see, Rainbow. He thinks you should join too.